Got no black shirt, it suits me just fine. I like the way it feels, so I wear it all the time. I got an old guitar, won't ever stay in tune. I like the way it sounds in a dark and empty room. I got an old pair of boots, they fit just right. I can work all day and I can dance all night. Got an old used truck, it runs just like a top. I got a feeling it ain't ever gonna stop. Stuff that works, stuff that holds up. The kind of stuff you don't hang on the wall. Stuff that's real, stuff you feel. The kind of stuff you reach for when you fall. I got a pretty good friend who's seen me at my worst. He can't tell if I'm a blessing or a curse, but he always shows up when the chips are down. And that's the kind of stuff I like to be around. I got a woman I love, she's crazy and paints like God. She got a playground sense of justice, she won't take odds. I got a tattoo with her name right through my soul. I think everything she touches turns to gold. Stuff that works, stuff that holds up. The kind of stuff you don't hang on the wall. Stuff that's real, baby, stuff you feel. The kind of stuff you reach for when you fall. The kind of stuff you reach for when you fall. Thank you. Marky, you take a little bottom end out for me. I'd like to bring my wonderful friends up here. The pandemic tried to shut us down a couple years ago, but we're back. This is the Lunatic Fringe. I just want to take a moment again to just say thank you to everybody, really, to Michael for what he's doing out here to keep music going. We started playing a couple shows around Central California a couple weeks ago, and then it just, you know, the way the world has changed and since we've had to make adjustments, and this is not a bad adjustment to make out here, actually. Over here on bass, we actually found him wandering these forests out here at Santa Cruz when he was just in a loincloth and a banjo. I've been on 3 river trips with him, and when I got out of the hospital in November, he got me ready to go on the Grand Canyon, so I got to go down the Grand Canyon. We're going to sing and play and tell stories about all of that, because some of them need to be played and talked about. storms are God's refrain. Sometimes the wind can get much stronger when it's dancing with hillbilly rain. Sings in birds and talks in rainbow. I can hear the sound in a distant train. Come to take me up the mountain where you call me hillbilly rain. Share the wine and share the whiskey, share the moment of the day, share the gift of God's salvation when you're walking in hillbilly rain. In the spring of when the river's flowing, morning brings an Irish green. Ancestors call down from the holler, come home again, hillbilly rain. Share the wine, share the whiskey, share the moment of the day, share the gift of God's salvation. Walking in hillbilly rain. Everybody. I walk in footprints before me, and your blood runs thick inside my veins, and my heart will always tell the story of the love you gave. It still remains, the peace I found in the pain, and the grace I learned along the way, and the songs I found in the rain, the songs I hear in the rain, the songs I sing in the rain, the song I love from the rain. This song tonight is hillbilly rain. Thank you. On drums from Perth, Australia, Christopher Grant. He commuted the longest to get here. Yeah. He's a beautiful, beautiful soul. We found him. He still likes playing us. Is his what he's? I go because I'm older than his father. I go, you okay playing with us? He goes, I love you, old fuckers. It's a good movie. On sound back there is Mark. He comes with the house, I guess, and I love it. It's not a bad house to live in, right? Brought my little redwood here. I figured I might as well play the redwood in the trees. I have an Aptos redwood I planted at my off-the-grid joint where I love to live, and so in about another 700 years, It's gonna be really good, right? And I got, of course, the neighbors coming down, hey, and the best time to plant a tree was, I go, yeah, 40 years ago. The second best time is today, though, Anyway, here's a song I wrote about my 35 years on the road. It's called Three Ring Circus. Just some of the things that happened, and of course that first line is from my daughter's husband's father, who was a point man in Vietnam, and who was one of our country's best snipers and decorated snipers, but he's nuts. And when him and I get together, I haven't drank in a year, but when I did drink a lot of wine, I would turn into Joe Namath. I would love to kiss people and touch people, and this guy didn't want nobody touching him, so he knocks me off a boat in the British Virgin Islands, and we beat up each other. And we have the best relationship to this day because we both decided, hey, it took us both, I had to get rotator cuff surgery, he had to get his neck fixed. But when we get together, all of my family's ordained preachers, and my dad was a hillbilly minister, came down the mountain, and but he comes in and goes, there's a bunch of pirates and preachers around here. So I go, here, I got it. That's the first line of this song, so I have to give him credit. In for a word, in for a third. Circus that's leaving town, and in the smoke rings in the mirror I come to see things clearer from the bridges that have all burned down. There were pirates, there were preachers, gamblers, there were teachers. I saw it all in the the tears of a clown. Thank you. It's all true stuff there. I'm gonna get right to some stuff I gotta sing and just take a moment to settle in and say hello again, and I hope you're all hanging in and doing well through the time. And as time moves on, I think of so many that we have lost along the way, and some of our great friends here as well. So it's great to be here, because I know they're out there listening. So when the pandemic hit, I have a little off-the-grid place north of Santa Barbara up in the hills, and I went there because, you know, nobody knew if we were going to be able to get food and everything and all that. So I started growing potatoes and everything is just like this. If you don't have them in cages, you know, it's every day I wake up like, who we fighting today? You know, you got the wild pig, the coyotes, all of them. They just kept coming. And so I built a miniature Astrodome, and I grew a lot of food and all that. But in the meantime, we don't really know. I picked up a staph infection, and I ended up collapsing, and I found a way to, I don't know what got me out. They said if I would have just laid there, and almost did, I would have gone. And I got home, I drove through a fence when I got home, and the paramedics took me away, and at midnight I was having emergency surgery on my spine to take some abscess infection off. And then for 2 months I was in the hospital, and I was a madman. I had to, if I got up, an alarm would go off. I had 2 surgeries on my spine. I went into sepsis, and I was supposed to live. And through the grace of God, it wasn't my time to go, you know. But on that side, I had hallucinations that were horrific. And at nighttime, I'd beg him to shut the curtains. But that didn't mean, I started time traveling and going places, and I hated the nighttime because of it. I'm still working through it. Thank you. One of the good hallucinations was at the very end. I remember going into, and needs to be told, and I've had a couple other things as well that it was like I was visiting, time traveling as a visitor. But I was in a room with the 2 nurses that seemed to always make me feel safe, and there was a Hawaiian Indian man that showed up, and every one of them that would lay me down on a table. And but Michael showed up in one of them. The very end, I was out in a little drum circle with about 5 or 6 people, and there was Michael with his, and I'm not lying, this is the first thing I said to him. I called him and told him, and he had this beautiful smile, and he said to me, we're going to make music again together. Well, I dread the darkness when the night comes around. I hate its cold and its lonesome sound. It brings in doubt and fear and pain. Seems all I got still remains. All I got still remains. Broken pieces from a broken heart. I've been broken down right from the start. The world, it seems, got the best of me. Here I am down on my knees. Here I am just begging please. I'm waiting on a miracle to come, waiting on the promise of the rising sun, waiting on the mystery of the day. Twists and turns that come my way, waiting on a miracle to see. Faith so strong, I still believe. Darkness got no hold on me when I'm waiting on a miracle. Some folks think love goes away and disappears and fades to gray. But through it all, love never dies. It winds up living inside your eyes. I could see it living inside your eyes. I'm waiting on a miracle to come, waiting on the promise of the rising sun, waiting on the mystery of the day. Twists and turns that come my way, waiting on a miracle to see. Faith so strong, I still believe. Darkness got no hold on me when I'm waiting on a miracle. When I look back through the sands of time and through the barricades of the human mind, I am a man out on my own. I've been living in the great unknown. I've been staring into the great unknown. Waiting on a miracle to come, waiting on the promise of the rising sun, waiting on the mystery of the day. Twists and turns that come my way, waiting on a miracle to see. Faith so strong, I still believe. Darkness got no hold on me when I'm waiting on a miracle. Darkness got no hold on me when I'm waiting on a miracle. Thank you, everybody. I use the Bob Euchre line a lot these days, because he told it to me, but people come up and say, it's good to see you. I go, it's better to be seen than viewed. All right? Though I wonder what the cover would be. Being a show business guy who doesn't have picks. Anybody have picks?
I have one pick. This one right here. And I will fight anyone who tries to get my pocket.
All right. Let's try this one.
Thank God the bass player was prepared.
Right? I have them, I just can't find them.
Me too, yeah.
Deserts full of flowers, seasons in full bloom. Mountains once volcanoes, for a moment hide the moon. The radio was playing songs we used to sing. White lines down the highway call, time changes everything. I remember as a child, chasing after dreams. We'd ride our bikes down the hill so fast, the tires seemed to sing. And I heard those wheels in motion, something crossed my mind. I left my home at 21, and the world was mine to find. Up around the corner time. The day you gave your heart to me and the day I gave you mine. We made love in Amarillo, spilled champagne in Detroit town. We danced across the mountaintop without making any sound. Up around the corner, far out in the wind, the miles stretched behind me of the man I once had been. And the love we shared together shines like a diamond dream. I love you more than yesterday. Time changes everything. I love you more than yesterday. Time changes everything. Thank you. We're remembering how to do some of this stuff.
The show's about to start.
Yeah. Hey, we heard you over there. I know what you want. We'll do it for you. What's his name, Michael? The horse here. He's requesting music now. What's his name?
Oh, that's Indiana.
Indiana. All right. Well, we're going to do a song called Spanish Town for Indiana. Song I wrote for Half Moon Bay when I was doing television up there, and it was unbelievable. The NBC put me right on the beach in this beautiful house. I lived upstairs. The VRBO'd it for me, so I got to. That's where I would do all those stupid on the deck shows, just live stupid stuff when I was still drinking, and I think they were still amazing. But then my wife said, "No more on the deck." Yeah, Half Moon Bay is called Spanish Town. I just love it, and it's a lot like your town here. So this is for the folks who know all about it. There's a half moon going down in Spanish Town. Boats leaving the harbor to the sea. We in the sand. It's not the future or the past that we come to see. It's just this moment of love and the present that we come to believe. For directions we've come, burying our dreams one by one. I hear the music playing when the sun goes down. A human transformation in Spanish Town. I hear the music playing when the sun goes down. A lifetime celebration in Santa Cruz town.
Chomp, chomp, chomp.
That's the old dogs. All right, thank you. That was fun to play. Yeah, we actually played in. Grandpa had a garage band for a day back in San Diego. My daughter, her 30th, my youngest daughter's 30th birthday. She wanted to go to the Dodger Giant game in L.A. And I go, honey, you're not going to make me go to Dodger Stadium and sit in like, please, like for my sins? I mean, what? But the Giants heard I was coming, and they took the girls and put them right behind home plate and grabbed me and took me down in the dugout so I could see some of my boys that I kind of had when they were just breaking in. Crawford and Posey, and wow, what men they've become over the years. On and off the field. Well, last time I played in, I believe in Santa Cruz, it was the Kumba Theater. And no, even before that, my last one, I did the Rio Theater as well with Jerry Jeff Walker. And Jerry Jeff was a great friend of mine, a great teacher, and when I was in the hospital, he passed away, and I didn't know any of all that till I came out. And long story short, even though it's impossible, anybody knows Jerry Jeff, there's no long story short. It's a long story longer, you know. And then if you don't listen,
Well said.
in fact, Michael booked us to play the Rio, and I was supposed to open for Jerry Jeff. And he's been a hero since 1979 when I was in the Texas League in Amarillo, Texas, riding 20-hour bus rides. And, you know, you just couldn't reach in your pocket and have an iPad or an iPhone. You couldn't get music just like that. You had to go to a honky-tonk, and you had to put quarters in the jukebox. But his wife asked me not too long ago to come back and play this song and another song she requested at his memorial. It was in June, and it was at Lukenbach, Texas. They had 1,000 tickets they sold in like 3 minutes, and his fans came from all over. And I looked around me who I was playing with and confirmed to do the show with was all my record collection. It was Steve Earle and Rodney Crowell, Emmylou Harris, Jimmy Buffett, Michael Martin Murphy, Jeff Hanna, the Nitty Gritty Band, but I got to sing with Emmylou too, which was like, my God, singing on the same mic with her. People ask me, well, was it any different? She sings and you don't hear anything come out of her mouth. Just this, and then you just hear it exploding out there somewhere. It's just like, Jesus. And I loved her during one thing we were singing. She reached over in my ear and said, because she's an Atlanta Braves fan, and goes, my Atlanta Braves just beat the Dodgers. And then I wrote, shoot, I should have been nicer. I didn't know that, but I was excited too. I said, I don't care if the Dodgers ever win a fucking game ever again. whoever's out there on live stream.
Oh, you can say Dodgers on the internet.
Okay.
Yeah, you could.
The man singing on the jukebox is a friend of mine. Spent a lot of years together out on the road. A few quarters and some whiskey, he'll tell you where it's been. And where he's going, I ain't sure he even knows. I met him years ago in Amarillo, Texas, in a country bar, the Texas Moon Palace. He was singing Desperados, waiting for a train. I took his words of love and lust for life, stuck them in my soul. I paid the bill, walked out the door in the pouring rain. Now at every honky-tonk in Texas, I gotta hear his songs about the faraway places I hope to see, about the dare of an angel from the gypsy song band, from the warmth of the sun down in Belize. He until that day, keep dancing and play me one more Texas song. Now from Midland to El Paso, out to San Antonio, the jukebox, it would ring out every night. After games, our team would get together, drink a lot of beer, listening to Jerry Jeff, and we'd flirt with country girls. Till the country boys drank enough to pick a fight. He was last with the old dog standing, poets with nothing to prove. 21st century rounder, did the old soft shoe. Will you dance one more Bojangles, wearing those worn out shoes? Oh, you silver hair, ragged shirt like that, living life with nothing to lose. Just like fate would have it, one night Jerry Jeff came walking through my door. We played songs and talked till morning in the Texas breeze. And he gave me this guitar and these gifted words. Hey, Flan, you know, we're the lucky ones. The lucky ones still believe. Last of the old dog standing, poets with nothing to prove. 21st century contrarian, we'd love to howl at the moon. Hey bartender, another round of Shiner Bock, 4 more quarters that will do. When the sun goes down in Texas, it feels good to sing the blues. When the sun goes down in Texas, the man singing on the jukebox, he's a friend of mine. Thank you. Jackie Jack. It was beautiful at his we had at the gravesite the day before, and his wife Susan says, you know, when we were young, she's talking to everybody, when we were young, we all thought we were bulletproof. We were going to just live forever, just keep going and live forever. And she goes, and every single one of you know that Jerry Jeff wasn't going to live forever, because he could party. The time at the Rio, I was supposed to actually open for him, and he says to me, okay, let's go. I go, what are you talking about? I'm opening for you. He goes, you're not opening. We're going to go out and do what we always do, you know? Just we're going to play guitar. And he didn't even have 2.5 hour show. He didn't have a set list. He this time was 73 years old. He didn't have a cheat sheet. Didn't miss a lyric. But I always wanted to know, because I'm walking down. I like to prepare, And I go, and now standing ovation. We walk out there. In his ear, I go, "What are we playing?" He goes, "I don't know. I don't know what kind of mood I'm in." And then he goes, I know by the first song if I'm going to give him an encore or not. I mean, that's pretty demanding, right? And he always told me being on stage is the state of grace. There's nothing, we're never going to be better than we are here on stage with our music, with our songs, with our stories. Well, in the third row at the Rio, there was this lady holding up vinyl, like every song in his face, sort of, So after the show, we're up backstage, and Michael comes out and says, "Hey, there's this lady out there that would like you to sign her vinyl." And he goes, "Oh, I know that lady." And I looked at him, I go, "So the state of grace is over? It's over?" And he goes, "Oh, I'll do it." So he got up and went out and signed those things. But it's funny how that state of grace just was over once we walked the stage. I tried to at least hold mine for an hour. I count my blessings, I carry my cross. These burdens get heavy with the things I've lost. I've tamed my tongue, I hold my wine. I don't run around with the restless kind. I've changed my address, changed my phone. You always seem to find me when you think I'm alone. I've run to the mountains, I've been running out of my mind. Been trying to run from the restless kind. But the stars are on the water, and I hear the wind up ahead. They ain't crossed the great wide open, baby. Better turn and shake your head. I can tell all their stories, I sing all their rhymes. All things considered by the restless kind. I can tell all their stories, I sing all their rhymes. Please say a prayer I started thinking about a lot of those lyrics during the time, there's a couple lies in there. I do run around with the restless kind. How else are we gonna get here?
He means us.
Right? Do your trick for a minute.
My trick?
You know that trick?
I have some magic tricks. You're welcome. How are you guys doing? This is amazing. People are coming out of the woods.
And the paramedics haven't shown up yet.
Thank goodness. That's a great thing.
Every time I saw that stuff, I was getting wheeled out somewhere. It's a song I wrote about my Uncle Jimmy. He was in 5 of our bloodiest battles of our country's wars. And he lived way up the mountains of Kentucky, 3 hours above. That's where my daddy came from. And there's a tobacco field, and next to the tobacco barn is a plot about big as this area here of our family's cemetery of Elkanah Flannery. He was a Union soldier who I had, and this is true, I have the death certificate. He died of laryngitis. So it's another Flannery that either sang himself or talked himself to death. And then there was all of them. My father and Jeff went up with us for all of these as well, and his mother and brother. And Uncle Jimmy just passed a year or two ago and had a 21 gun salute up the holler. This is for all the veterans as well. This is, he ain't coming down the mountain. Jimmy lived up in the hills, the place where he was born. He never felt like leaving. When he was just a boy, they shipped him off to war. Maybe he still feels like grieving. They took away his childhood, they stole away his past. Gave him many memories, he prays they'll never last. Just a shot of whiskey, boy, edge off all that pain. He ain't coming down the mountain. He lost a friend in World War II. They took a piece of him, fighting in the valleys of Korea. And born in Owsley County, man, raised on coal mine trade. Granddaddy fought for the Union. He fought against oppression, fought for civil rights. And buried in the ground up there, he died for what is right. And though the battle rages on, probably always will, he ain't coming down the mountain. Sun comes up in a Boonville town. Jimmy works the land, hands buried deep in tradition. Bad weather took his tobacco field, so he ran white dog. Before the war, after prohibition, there he heard those songs of Bill Monroe. Ralph Stanley and his band found something hidden in a shady grove most don't understand. Some roads lead to money, others to fame. He ain't coming down the mountain. He don't give a damn if you ever heard our name. He ain't coming down the mountain. Jeff Berkeley, everybody. Yeah, it's amazing when you look up and see things that people have friends in your life and you see photographs like, what are you doing in the mountains of Kentucky? And he was with me when we went over to my dad's brother's mountain or whatever they had. And they go, Tim, and I used to go there as a kid on vacation. My granny played an amazing banjo, but this was after my pop passed, and they go, Tim, we'd like you to have this mountain. You can have this whole area just for free, and we'd like you to build a house on it. And he was with me. I looked down, and I go, there's like 4 shotgun shells. I go, what's going on here? And they go, Junebug and Uncle Jimmy have been shooting at each other for years, but they loved your daddy. You don't have to worry about it. And I said, I think I'm just going to come and visit. I like the ocean a lot, too. Let me just tune this for a moment, because...
So, this guy goes into a psychiatrist's office. This guy goes into a psychiatrist's office wearing nothing but cellophane. Psychiatrist says, sir, I can clearly see your nuts.
He's got a bunch of good ones now, too.
How many of you have heard me tell that joke before? Yep, almost everyone in California working on it.
Well, you're going to have to do what Buffett tried to do. I've known Jimmy back. I've opened for him 1,000 years ago, but when he sat down and looked at me at Jerry Jeff's thing, he goes, you look like an older version of Tim Flannery. And I go, just because you haven't aged a day, So, let's do this one. I wrote this when I hadn't had enough of it all on the road, and never have enough of doing what you do, but sometimes you gotta make a decision. And I was paddling out at Little Makaha on the northwest side of Maui, jumping off of a place called Hole in the Head, because if you don't time it right in between sets, I've seen that could happen. And you paddle across this little turtle bay, and then there's this kind of a right point, short left. You can't drown. It's not like Mavericks. It's a Hawaiian, and in Hawaii, it doesn't matter if it's 15 feet. They always say it's 4 feet. Everything's 4 feet. I go, yeah, that's not 4 feet, Anyway, there was a beautiful rainbow. It disappeared and turned around. It was gone. And I go, sometimes if I get a good first line, I can get almost a good second line. And then, it's a time thing. I'm never one of those guys that just writes songs. And even if you do write songs, it's like that Waiting on a Miracle. The first draft of that is that scared me to sing it. So I kind of got rid of some of the stuff, Where do you go when the rainbow fades? The dreams you chased lost out in the night. Where do you run when the morning comes? It's all undone, the struggle's now the fight. when you've climbed the highest mountain, when you've rode the biggest wave, where do you go to just surrender from being a prisoner, from being a slave? Where do you run when the well runs dry, where the tide is high and it's all said and done? What will it take to quell the thirst, or will the pain get worse in tomorrow's setting sun? When it's dark out on the highway, and when you're broken from the road, does the compass that you carry get you lost or leave you home? The highway, when you're broken from the road, does the compass that you carry get you lost or lead you home? There's a soul out in the garden, there's a soul in the road, a song that's not forgotten, sung by the humble, heard by the bold. And when your journey is forsaken, now try to never let it show. Does the compass that you carry get you lost or lead you home? Does the compass that you carry get you lost or lead you home?
Pantomime getting shot right there?
That was amazing.
That was extra acting just for you guys.
This is what my favorite part. A place that we've had 35 years. I tell everybody, we bought in, 3 ball players bought in for the surfing. It's some of the best surf like this place without people. I mean, those point waves. It's the Hollister Ranch. It's a really nice place to. But I thought I bought it for surfing until after the 2 spine surgeries, I can't touch my toes and I can't get, I can't get up to my feet yet. So I ride this 4-foot quad with fins and I pull into these barrels and all the guys at the ranch call me the Dick Dragger. It took me about a day, like, oh, that's what they're saying.
At least you're dragging it.
Right? At least I'm dragging it. And we have that's our t-shirts. Please, we'd like to have a t-shirt made of that. At least you dragon.
10%.
Dozens of dollars.
Here's another brand new song that we are just playing. So, I mean, and some of them were still sanding down. I'm at this one we got that 600 sandpaper. Brian Stowe, would you just stand up for a second? One of my heroes. What an amazing man. So great to see you, Brian. Thank you, man. We're about getting close to getting that phone call, if you remember, where they're going to want me and you to come down there and you grab the mic and say, play ball. They always want good luck going down the stretch when they're, neck to neck with the LA team. So, yeah, we got you ready.
Drum solo. Drum solo.
Right now?
Yeah.
I used to call him, I didn't know about this, I'm a little behind times, but I used to call him Thunder from Down Under. But I went to Vegas to hop on this Grand Canyon trip, and I saw all these billboards, Thunder Down from Under, all the naked guys, and I'm going, that's our drummer. Another story, great stories, right? Just every day something happens along the way. It's kind of like why I got this song called, but we waited like a year and a half to play, so I'm going to make sure I get it. Stories, people go, yeah, you should write a book, Yeah, and I go, first of all, there's nobody would sit in a room with me. I mean, this guy's the toughest man. We did 12 records together, and he produced them, and we were in a studio locked in for 12. He kept coming back for more, which I am so blessed. The teaching was unbelievable in there, and also hanging with somebody. Not many people can be in the same room with me for that long. My wife says I'm
A lot
good
of drugs.
Yeah,
A lot of drugs. It's cool, man.
my wife says I'm good in small doses. But I still wrote the song about you, sweetie. Because some of these stories, I remember in 2014, after a Saturday day game, Willie Nelson was playing the Greek Theater in Berkeley. It was that super moon night. And I always say I opened for Willie 100 years ago, but Willie's played so long, every band on the planet has opened for Willie because he played so many gigs. But his harp player, Mickey, played on a couple of my records, and he says, just show up, Willie wants you to come out and sing the last songs. So I went down there after the game, and I just happened to know when he broke in, we did the gospel songs, and I was with his daughter Paula singing with Willie, and it was like a dream. And Then he broke into Roll Me Up and Smoke Me When I Die, and I just happened to know that song. So I was playing that, singing with him, and it was just a great night. And on the way home, I stop at a bar, and the guy goes, "Hey man, what'd you do today?" I go, "Well, I coached third base for the world champions and sang Roll Me Up and Smoke Me with Willie Nelson at a sold-out Greek theater." And he goes, "When does your UFO take off?" So writing songs would be, I could write a book, but who's going to believe some of the stuff, you know? And some things just, see what this sounds like. This is one I'm sanding down with 600 sandpaper. If I could write a book, I could tell you some stories. I could tell you some things you never believe were true. I could write a book of a life on a journey with the people and friends who helped me make it through. Falling stars and thunderstorms out west, I'd write it all down just to get it off my chest. The wounds and gypsy winds won't ever tell all the secrets I learned between heaven and hell. Now there's these country guitar pickers, outlaws out at sea, my heroes and villains, some shared their soul with me. Teachers out on the highway learned me a way to stay dry in the rain. And some nights I heard them sing like angels. It's the medicine that healed the pain. Falling stars and thunderstorms out west, I'd write it all down just to get it off my chest. Lost so much of me, it's hard to say. It don't matter, but your love still lights my way. If I could write a book, you'd be on the cover, painted in love so precious and so pure. If I could write a book, I'd leave some blank pages for the photographs and memories of the people we were. Falling stars and thunderstorms out west, I'd write it all down just to get it off my chest. And tell the whole world, baby, you're the one I gotta have forever, now that it's all been said and done. If I could write a book, I could tell you some stories. I could tell you some things you're never gonna believe are true. Thank you very much. We're gonna do one more here, and then we're we're scheduled to take a break so you guys can get into that really good barbecue that I've been smelling. Yeah, and we got here hours ago and there were no pigs in any cages. So those are not what they're eating. They came from the Central Coast, who broke, the ones that broke into my stuff. I'm eating it all the time. What are we doing? Oh, I'm trying to trick myself.
I told my girlfriend she was drawing her eyebrows on too high. Boy, did she look surprised.
It's my favorite.
That was a request. I get joke requests. It's a weird life. Yeah, you know, sometimes. So this guy goes to a doctor's office. He says, doctor says, "What can I do for you, sir?" And he says, "Well, this is going to sound weird, but I feel like I'm turning into a moth." The doctor says, "You mean the bug, the flying thing that likes..." And he's like, "Yeah, I feel like I'm turning into a moth. I didn't think it was anything at first and would go away, but it's not going away. And I really feel like I'm turning into a moth." And the doctor said, "Listen, there's a lot of things I can help you with, but there's a psychiatrist right down the hall. Why did you come to me?" And the guy says, "Well, your light was on." Thanks. Please don't make me do that anymore.
I was born in a Cary town in a village by the sea. My father dreamed of finding things and make his life for me. Rode the way to New Mexico to mine a silver town. Daddy died in a miner's hole, but he never let us down. I met a boy named Henry Mack, and sold out on the run. Sold away in a gambler's row with whiskey and a gun. The law came in from far away, from blood left in the trail. Henry shot a kid down and sent his soul to hell. We rode away from Lincoln Town, outlaws on the run. Rode away from broken necks like hanging in the sun. Rode into the great unknown in hopes he set us free. My heart just pain, I will always follow you. We had a band together and we regulated town. We rode like the righteous, we cut the evil down. I knew I never could back a sinner with a gun. They love me like no other, I'm forever on the run. We rode away from Lincoln Town, outlaws on the run. Rode away from broken necks and hanging in the sun. Rode into the great unknown in hopes they set us free. My heart just pain, I will always follow. Posse was relentless, held us down Black Hawk Run. Terry came and shot him down with a Henry Maxwell gun. Spilled his chest with poison, lead left him there for dead. Still today the stone still reads their lies. Billy the Kid. We rode away from Lincoln Town, outlaws on the run. Rode away from broken necks, like hanging in the sun. Rode into the great unknown in hopes they set us free. life for me. Thank you. We'll be back shortly. We'll get some protein, carve up.